What's up, boxing fans? Gilberto Torres Jr. with Torres Boxing, and I want to go ahead and talk about Manny Pacquiao's preparation for Keith Thurman. He's in training camp, both fighters are, for what will be a big fight on July 20th on Fox pay-per-view. Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman in a WBA World Welterweight Championship fight. I'm excited about the fight, and I want to give some thoughts on the training camp and what we're seeing for Manny Pacquiao. There's a saying out there, I don't know if you've heard it before, but they say that fights are won in the gym. Fights are won in the gym and not necessarily inside of that ring. Now, what is that trying to tell us? Of course, fighters are trying to win that fight inside of the boxing ring. But it all starts from training camp. And training camp is very important because it gives us an indication of how a fighter's going to look come fight night. Now, is it going to tell us the whole story? Is it going to tell us exactly how the fighter's going to look? Not necessarily. You know, things can always come out. Things can surprise us. Things can go differently come fight night because for whatever X reasons, things might change. So a training camp is not going to give you the full story, but it is a good indication of how a fighter's going to look come fight night. And that's one of the reasons why I started more recently to try and pay more attention. I made it a goal of mine to pay more attention to the training camps of fighters leading up to their fights. So right now, July 20th is right around the corner. And of course, I'm interested in seeing Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman's camps. But in particular, I'm a little bit more interested in seeing how Manny Pacquiao is preparing for this big fight. Manny Pacquiao at 40 years of age is impressive. The fact that he's taking on a fight of this caliber. He's facing an undefeated world champion in his prime at 40 years of age after being in the ring, fighting professionally for 24 years plus, and having already experienced the highest of highs in boxing, and having captured belts in 8 separate weight divisions. Manny Pacquiao does not have to be fighting these type of fights, yet these are exactly the type of fights he is fighting at 40 years of age, which I think just speaks volumes about his character, the attitude he has as a fighter, and it lets us know that Manny Pacquiao is truly a fighter at heart. You have people that might be in it for different reasons. Maybe they started off being a fighter, or maybe they got content at some point because they started making good money. Maybe someone got into it because they just wanted to make money, get fame, get whatever it was. But the fact that Manny Pacquiao at this stage of his career is taking these sort of fights just comes to show us that he really is a fighter at heart. And I think that's admirable. I think that just is another testament to the type of fighter Pacquiao is. And he's definitely an all-time great, and nothing but respect for the legendary fighter. Now, with that being said, training camp, like I was saying, is indicative of how a fighter's gonna look come fight night, and Manny Pacquiao is looking very good in his training camp. There's footage out there, you can look it up. Of course, Manny Pacquiao preparing for Keith Thurman. There's video out there that he's also posted on his social media, power shots on the heavy bag, mitt work with Boo Boy Fernandez and Freddie Roach. There's pictures out there of his sparring. Obviously, you're not going to necessarily see videos of him sparring. That's kind of a secretive thing. That's something that you just do not put out. But you do see pictures. You see how he looks. You see the intensity in his eyes. And I think this is something to really kind of grasp and really take it as something as something that's really telling of how Pacquiao is preparing for this bout. Like I said, it's not going to tell us everything, but it is going to give us a good indication of where the fighter is at. I was looking at a documentary a few days ago. It was on ESPN, and it was on Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. And when Muhammad Ali fought Larry Holmes, he was already on his decline. He was already kind of, obviously going downhill. And so by all means, I'm not using this as a clear-cut example of how Pacquiao to compare Pacquiao, because Muhammad Ali was in a completely different boat here, because he was already suffering from symptoms of Parkinson's disease. But in the documentary, one thing that caught my attention, and around this time, everybody was saying Muhammad Ali, there was that nostalgia factor, like there is with all of these great fighters. The nostalgia factor that, wow, this is Muhammad Ali, and doesn't matter that he's maybe already seen his best of days. This is Muhammad Ali, and he's back in a big fight. And maybe around that time, because Muhammad Ali was coming off of a 2-year retirement, got lured back into the ring from being offered $8 million, a big payday back in the day. So maybe in the beginning, people were wary of his return. But the closer that it got down to fight night for Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes, there was a lot of hype. There was hype because this is Muhammad Ali about to fight again. And because of the very fact that it was Muhammad Ali, the public believed that he was going to do something special that night. And of course, if you look back, that was a terrible ending to in that fight. It was a fight where Muhammad Ali did not show any resistance. He blocked punches. He didn't get knocked out or anything like that, but he just did not throw anything. It was just a sad fight to watch. But in the documentary, it showed footage of the training camp leading up to the Larry Holmes fight. And like I said, this is not supposed to be a clear-cut example. It's not something to be comparable to Manny Pacquiao, but it's something that we can use to understand that a training camp can be telling about how a fighter's going to look come fight night. If you see that video footage of Muhammad Ali preparing for Larry Holmes, he looked terrible. He was taking a lot of shots from sparring partners, and even his own trainers were asking him, hey Ali, why are you taking punches, too many punches? And Muhammad Ali, of course, reluctant to tell them that he was feeling bad, just told them that I just want to get used to the punches. But of course, that's not the reason. We come to find out that he was just starting to suffer from Parkinson's disease. So kind of looking at this situation, it kind of lets me know that, wow, there was a lot of hype in that buildup. But if people would have just seen the training camp, seen how Muhammad Ali was preparing, how weak he looked, then maybe they could have understood or not have been so surprised when the fight ended the way that it did. Now, Manny Pacquiao, again, 40 years of age, has seen heights in boxing, has accomplished tremendous things, and now he's in the final stage of his career, winding down, the twilight of a legendary career. And how is he looking in training camp? He's looking very good. He's looking strong. He's looking fast. Like I've said, I've been very vocal about this. I've tried to be a realist too. I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. I've said it before. He's my favorite fighter of all time. But at the same time, I understand, I can accept that he's not the Manny Pacquiao of 5 and 10 years ago. He's not that the phenomena that rose to superstardom, that was just throwing punches and bunches. And can he still do a lot of those things? Of course he can. Of course he can still do a lot of those things. But can he do it the way he did it? No. He's a lot more selective in his punch output. He throws when needed. He's a lot more strategic. I think the experience of 24 plus years in the game has helped him out a whole lot. And so I think we're seeing a Pacquiao that is smart. He realizes what his body can do, and he balances it with the experience that he brings to the table. And the good thing about it is the fact that his body is still reacting well and is allowing him to mesh what his body can do with the experience that it brings to the table, with that ring IQ that he has. So in training camp right now, Manny Pacquiao's looking good. He's looking strong. He's looking fast. He's got good footwork right now for his age, and apparently he's looking really good in sparring sessions as well. So what I want to say by that is that the fact that Manny Pacquiao is looking good in training camp is a good sign that he's going to look good come fight night. Like I said, it's not going to give us the whole story. Things could always change. He could be facing a tougher fight come fight night. Of course, once fight night comes around, he's going to be in there with a live opponent. Keith Thurman's going to be there trying to get the W for himself. But at the same time, Manny Pacquiao is a veteran of the game. He's been in there with all sorts of styles, all sorts of fighters in there, the greats already of his era. So it's not something that he won't be able to adjust to. It's just a matter of him being able to balance things out. And I think he's going to look really good because he's looking good in training camp. He's looking strong. You've seen situations where older fighters or fighters that are not necessarily that don't look good in a fight, if you look at their training camps, sometimes they didn't look good in their training camps. So, you know, when you could avoid being surprised if you just pay a little bit more attention on the training camp. And with that, I just want to close it up. Manny Pacquiao's looking good in his training camps. He's looking strong, and so I'm expecting a great performance on his behalf come July 20th on Fox pay-per-view. Now, guys, let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and hit that like button, comment your thoughts, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications on future content. Till then, guys, I'm out. God bless you, and have a great rest of your day.